it. And I think this is one of the most difficult things about coming face to face with Jesus. Because if you're sitting there still exploring all of this, or you're new to your faith, let me tell you what the hardest thing is going to be about following Jesus. It's the question of leadership. It's giving up control. Because we live in a world where control is the king. Like, we want to be in control of everything in our lives, right? We're so used to grabbing the remote and flipping from channel to channel the moment we're bored or uncomfortable. That little device in our hands gives us power. I decide what's on. I decide when it changes. I decide what I'm in the mood for. And for a lot of us, that's how we treat our relationship with God. We don't necessarily mind having God in our lives, but only on demand, right? And when we're in a jam, when we've got questions, when life gets hard, that's when we reach for the God remote and say, okay, Lord, show up now. Speak into this moment. Fix it. Comfort me. Bless me. But as soon as we're back in control, what do? We hit mute on what he's saying. Or we flip the channel if it's something challenging that we don't like, that's too convicting. God, I'm not ready for that kind of change yet. We want God's blessings, but not always his leadership, right? That's why Jesus said, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and what? Don't do what I say. We want his wisdom without his authority. But here's the truth. God doesn't do on demand. He's not a streaming service that we access when it's convenient. He's the author of the story, not just a character we call in for help during the hard scenes. Jesus said, if you want to follow me, you've got to give me the remote. Hand over the control. Are you willing to give the remote? Not just let him be part of your story, but let him direct your story? Until we give God full access, not just to speak, but to lead, we're going to have a hardened heart. A heart that only wants to hear from God when it's convenient. And that's really the spiritual equivalent of flipping channels and never landing anywhere long enough for a real transformation to happen in our lives.